afternoon, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. And oh, that's myself. That's silly. Hello, Loretta. How are you? Sherry Green Thumb. What's up? Nunya, Texas. How you doing? Arkansas. Sherry again. Hey, Prepper Cowboy. How are you? Did I miss anyone here? Hello, Zombie. Wait, hold on. There was someone else here. Okay, now I just crap. I hit the wrong button and the chat just went flying by. Hey, Ghetto. Did I miss anyone? Ark, what's going on? So, for those of you who are wondering, today's recipe is an Instant Pot. I didn't get my little portable camera, so I kind of screwed up there. But Instant Pot Cajun andouille rice. So, I already got the andouille sausage cut up. I got my basmati rice in there and a little bit of chicken stock. And I did not have, I forgot the veggies, which is bad. So I went in the freezer, and Sassy and I make this really killer salad. Actually, she makes it. That's one I don't. And bam, I found frozen veggies from last November. And lo and behold, it is the beautiful trio of bell peppers, the yellow, green, and red. So that, as a whole, I'm just gonna dump in the pot. I just finished building those shells. Nice. So yeah, that's the deal for today. So you're gonna watch me like battle this for a minute while I get that contraption going. So question for all of you guys. What do you think's coming next? I've been reading the news and there's so much like fear porn that it's almost exhausting. I'm like, you know what? I'm done reading the news for a while. But hey Joe. Thank you, Loretta. Yeah, there are a couple of creators in there. If you can throw them up there. One thing, I don't know if you guys saw my short earlier. For those of you in Texas, ERCOT had all the energy providers send out a note about possible rolling blackouts for the Texas grid this summer, which shouldn't really be a surprise. They're still trying to upgrade the grid, and at the same time, they're trying to expand it because we've had so many people move in from, states that are completely caca right now. And that's a double whammy on the grid, right? Upgrades and weather-related catastrophic event will be next. That would not surprise me. Actually, be ready. There you go, man. That's all we can do. Actually, Ghetto, I don't know. Have you seen it's the guy from, there's Forrest Whitaker, he plays the dad, and it's the guy from Divergent who plays Four. I forgot his name. Hey Militant, what's going on? Episode of Making Shit with Sean. It's raining here. Stop snowing. Yeah, by the way, Green Thumb, I did try to email you and it bounced me, so I mistyped something. But shoot me an email on my email from your email. Well, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm going to dump this in here. I will tell you, though, there's some weird shit going on in overseas. I think it's absolutely bizarre. Let me see if I can find, because one of them just absolutely freaked me out, because I wouldn't expect this. Let me see. And the Chinese government apparently decided to confiscate people's pets, which was bad enough because they said the pets were spreading the Rona. But what they were doing, they weren't putting them in like a kennel or sequestering the person with the pet. They were sticking literally people's pet cats in what looked like a crawfish bag, like a see-through sack, but they're sticking like 8 cats in there and tying it and leaving it on the floor. And all the cats are just piled up. And then they have dogs like that too. And I gotta tell you, I would mess someone up for doing that to my corgis. Like I would lose my shit. Uh, I don't know why. Speaking of the corgis, someone's passed out. She beat up the loofah again. Apparently, Tuesdays before my live is when she beats up the fluffy one. So again, those two, one in protective custody and one is in dog jail. I know people so rude they want you to drop it while you were eating. To reach something you could edit. Okay, that's the one I'm talking about. I didn't see them beat to death. Holy crap. I thought they were transporting them away. They were just beating them to death. How screwed up is that? Well, Joe, it wouldn't be fun if they didn't interrupt your meal, right? Especially you have a mouthful of food, or you have to go pee, and then you get that. Yeah, so I relate. I've seen some of that. But I think some people collectively have governments have totally lost their mind, and not that you guys are going to be surprised by me saying that. Let me share this screen because I saw this the other day and I thought it was fake, and it is not fake. It was quite real. Hang on a second here. Yeah, that is horrible. Like, why would they? There was one where they were throwing them into the river. It's awful. So this is a video, authenticity unverified. This came from Jack Posobiec, who's that political commentator. But it looks pretty legit because I've been involved in FEMA camps and they're way better than this. Like FEMA shelters. This is like a concentration camp. This is some horrendous shit. So anyway, I'm gonna play this because this is just weird. She's not hitting a dog, by the way. She's just beating the bed sheets. This sounds like an insane asylum. Run, girl! Oh, no, too late. Wasn't Shanghai, though, the city where the communist government was really having a hard time? Because it used to be an English colony. And so it makes you wonder if this is just, yeah, absolutely. It makes you wonder if this is a convenient way to politically beat up people they don't like. But yeah, look at this. This is... Now, I can't say they're insane. I don't know if this was like a planned thing, but... I like that one guy up in that left corner with a floodlight. Wait, what? Holy cow. Hold on, I gotta read that again. Wait, what was that? I love the family non-preppers over Easter losing their shit. Wait, what were they losing their shit over? I'm so curious. Yeah. Hey, in between, what's going on, Nikki? Oh, did you see my ERCOT warning for those of you in Texas? I got that in the mail today, which is kind of old school, but that's all right. Unbelievable. Y'all see the one in China where the guy was yelling at some lady, "We're going to war with America. You need to follow instructions." Okay, and that's a really good way. Those of you who've read 1984, there was peace, slavery is peace. Oh no, war is peace, and slavery is freedom. And they keep regurgitating this, and it seems contradictory. But think about it. War is peace. The whole premise is if you keep your people focused on an enemy outside the country, they're at peace in the country, right? Notice we come out of this Rona, and now there's a gaggle fuck, excuse my French, in Europe, and the Chinese are starting to posture and whatnot. Oh, eh, and absolutely, cowboy. It blows my mind that a Brave New World's another one, and that goes to the there's a thing called Soma in the book Brave New World, not 1984. And in Brave New World, Soma is like it's kind of like pot the way it's described, but it's a pill. It's something you take, and it basically makes you stone. But I'm wondering that whole fentanyl, I can't speak today, fentanyl issue we're having in this country. It makes you wonder if what England did to China in the 1800s with the opium, they were taking opium from Afghanistan, selling it to the Chinese forcibly over the protests of the country and basically making them all stoned. I wonder if that's what's happening to us, but people are too stupid in general to realize this is really bad. Yeah, absolutely. Dog jail. Yeah, see, my dog jail, though, is just a little pink kennel that she has there. Uh, and they killed boxes earlier. I made the mistake of leaving a box down. And you would, with the little legs, they kind of remind me of the T-Rex with the little legs that can't reach the coffee mug in the cartoons. So what they do, they take a running start at the box if they can't get a grip on it and jump with those little front legs and pop, hit the box, and then they bite it like a shark and then run away with it. So yeah, it was the Opium War. So it's almost like it's flipped over now, but they're doing it to us, which is scary. But yes, if you haven't, Joe, Joe's not wrong, by the way. But yeah, and to Cowboy's point, you're gonna have family, and that's I think I wasn't gonna do a live today because I was so frustrated with people that it agitated the shit out of me. But then I was like, you know what? At least the crowd I'm talking to understands where I'm coming from. So there is some justice, though. So this jackass, this I've actually seen this in a local news. Um, tell me that's not scary. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not read 1984 and Brave New World, you should probably read them both. I'm agitated too. People just suck is the problem. And not everybody, but like enough suck that it ruins it for everyone else. Yeah. And you know what's funny is it wasn't Orwell wrote 1984, it was Huxley wrote Brave New World. And Huxley and Orwell were friends, and they were debating in letters which future was more likely. And Huxley said it will be Brave New World. We'll distract them with screens and drugs, and they'll destroy the family to where it becomes community of women, as Karl Marx used to put it. Basically, everyone does everything, and the government takes care of the children. And then they'll sequester children. They'll test them and sequester them. Oh, this is a D, this is an A, and they'll have percentages and just assign children who they conceive. Yes, I'm hearing they're doing that, and I've seen the videos of them like putting that little L bracket on the doors so you can't get out. But there is some justice in the world. I saw this one earlier today, and it made me happy. And I shouldn't be happy because someone lost their life, but I don't want to see this oath thing here. Carjacker beats up Texas grandma, then dies after crashing in the stolen car. Look at that poor lady. She's smiling too. God bless her. Texas carjacker is dead after he brutally beat up a grandmother and stole her car, only to fatally crash in that same vehicle a short time later. She was walking inside. A man grabbed her and punched her several times in the face to take her car keys. 3 men attempted to stop the assailant. They got in a fight. He still managed to get away with the keys. And the suspect didn't get far. Investigators told local media that the car was found a short time later, totaled in the interstate. That's absolutely irrational behavior. Yeah, well, the first thing I'm happy about is karma is good. Yes. I think honestly, 100% of humanity. Hey, bitter critter. It is, or they may be really cracking down on Shanghai to create a distraction from something else they're doing. About 20%. That low? I think it's about 30 sometimes, honestly. The crazy people videos in Shanghai, no, they even list unconfirmed. They were just posted, so it could be a psyop or fantastic Alfredo or whatever, Fantastic Freddy or whatever, the false Freddy. Yeah, they do. Yay, no notifications. Okay, lucky. I told that to Sassy the other day when we were down in Temple. I was like, I did that live when I was driving to Austin. And I told my wife when I got back, I said, it's funny because a lot of people are saying they don't get my live streams. And she said, the one night we were at dinner, she and I were at dinner. It was 2 hours after I ended my Tuesday talk show. And we're in a restaurant and her phone blings and I was live. And she said, "Are you live, sir?" And of course, being me, I was like, "I ain't dead, girl." And she's like, "No, ass." And she shows me the camera and it shows me as I was live 2 hours later. So, but yes. Oh, somebody put Lucky's page up there too, and anyone else we missed. Fantastic Freddy. What did I call it? Alfredo, false Alfredo. Anyway, you get it. Fantastic Freddy. Yeah. Thank you, John. I'm losing it today. So YouTube sometimes notifies me that I'm live. Yeah, and that's what's funny. I guess this is thawed enough for me to stick it in the pot. So tonight's recipe, for those of you who ran in a little later, is I'm trying Instant Pot Cajun rice. I got the chicken stock, andouille, I got the veggies. Oh, the Cajun seasoning, 1 tablespoon. How could I forget Cajun seasoning? So, yeah, guys, I would. Oh, by the way, if y'all are looking for good, funny Cajun seasoning, yes, that's actually the name of the product. And tell me that's not hysterical, guys. It's salty as shit, though, but it's good. And actually, sorry, I'm working on freezer. Oh, don't worry about it. My buddy ran an English teaching school. It wouldn't surprise me because you think about it, the PRC does not really care about people, right? Because I know this sounds awful, but Chairman Mao made a point of telling folks, hey, you know what? We have 1 billion people, so who cares? That was also the same genius who told them to kill their little girls and only have males because he thought he was going to go to war with the Americans or the Russians. And Tony Chachere's, yes, Tony C's is also awesome. So we'll see how good this recipe is. Hopefully I don't screw it up too much. But I defrosted andouille sausage and forgot about it, and I'm like, okay, it's from last year, and I've defrosted it. I gotta use it, or it's gonna get ugly. Hey, bug dude, what's going on? Yeah, Tony C's, Slap Your Mama, New News is another great one. All of them are really high in salt, which I probably shouldn't eat, but they taste good, so it is what it is. PCR test is full of shit. Yeah. Actually, so the future son-in-law, the doctor, he actually, I was when Sassy got the Rona, we asked him, I'm like, what tests do we use? Because this is all bullshit to me. And he said, one company, and I can't remember the name, he said they do, that's what they do is tests, like flu tests. He said, I've been using them for years. They're pretty legit. If anyone's close to being accurate, it's going to be them. And he said there's a percentage, and like he knew the percentages because this is a really smart guy. And I was like, okay, so we took the tests, and Sassy was positive and I was negative. So I thought it was hysterical, right? So I was like, you have the Rona. So she took another one and got double Rona, which was even funnier. Now I wound up losing my voice anyway. So obviously I had the cootie. But I asked him, I was like, what's the percentage? He said, you know what? If you've been exposed to something similar before, how did he describe it? Your natural reaction might be sufficient to squish down the illness to where it doesn't show up on certain tests. So you might have it, but your body's kind of squished it to where the test can't pick it up. And ironically, it's funny, she got sicker than I did both times. So no, I mean, not happy for her, but yeah. So, but it's how many cycles is. He actually said we'd be better off with the little swab test. He said that he was iffy on the way the PCR was done. I've heard a few doctors say that. Some mad folks up here. If they have to test birds for AIDS, they need to test them for IQ. Forget AIDS. Oh. So who's calling me? So I will have to call that person back in a little bit. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the test, to be honest with you. My guy was really sick for one day. He's sick 2 days. Now he's full of piss and vinegar. Awesome. Yeah, and younger people. I mean, it's like any other influenza or any other virus. We're having. Okay, so for those of you in Canada, because I don't know what Canada's doing. Canada passed that new law for kids. I'm trying to find the law. Oh, here it is. And I don't know how valid it is. Bill 89. I'm looking for. No, not gender therapy. It's the one about removing kids from parents. And I don't know what the context is. So I've seen it, and I don't know if this is valid or not. Another example of weird government laws that I don't understand. This new law in Canada could remove kids from parents who reject transgender ideology. I think that one didn't pass, did it? But there's one. Hey, Magic, what's going on? I had 2 cooties, the brain swimmer. The brain test. Well, the brain swab actually, I heard was not cool. A lot of people just didn't like it. Some people straight up freaked out, like that was not bueno for them at all. So bear with me just a second as I mix up this concoction that I've created here. And hopefully I don't completely screw it up. But also you want to make sure that the veggies are all where they're supposed to be. But yeah, these laws that are being passed in Canada, guys, I don't know what to make of that. That's absolutely weird stuff. Don't need that one. All right, and off it goes. So let's see if I explode my Instant Pot on live YouTube or if I get, that thing started beeping and all the dogs' little ears went up across the house. They're like, he's cooking something. There's food to be made. got garbage everywhere in my kitchen, guys. I'm glad I'm not doing a full kitchen live. Hey, Farmer Son, what's going on? So there are a couple of things I did want to point out, and one of them kind of concerned me because it's in the energy sector. And again, we've seen how when energy freaks out, it just cascades into other stuff. Why do I have this blank thing here? This is so stupid. All right, hold on. Here we go. So J.P. Morgan was doing an analysis. So here's what their Bill 100 passed at midnight. Is that the one from that they can remove your kids if you don't comply with whatever bullshit they come up with? Because that's not going to sit well with a lot of folks. So J.P. Morgan sees a risk of $185 oil if the EU acts too quickly on the Russia ban, right? So if they decide to just cut Putin's funding, it will probably spike the price even worse than we saw earlier this year, where it was like 120. It would go to 185. So your gallon of gas would be like 15 bucks, 20 bucks here in the States, much less overseas. That's if they want to really squeeze Putin. If they don't, then what they'll wind up doing is do a very gradual decrease over time. And thank you, Lucky. Scroll up. Oh, did I miss it, Sherry? Bill 100, make it illegal to protest them. Oh. That's all. That's only in Quebec. They remove parent. So the primacy of the parent is no longer the case. See, that's again, Ghetto, if you're still out there, 1980, no, sorry, Animal Farm. For those of you who've read Animal Farm, remember there was Snowflake, who was Trotsky. There was the Major, who was Stalin. And then there was the old man, or maybe it's the old Major and the other one. In any case, it was basically Lenin's, who's the old man who dies, the old pig. Stalin and Trotsky is Snowflake, and Trotsky gets run off by Stalin in real life. But in that, he runs Trotsky off with the dogs. They took the puppies from the farm dogs and raised them to be his police. That's what this is. This is Marxism. Truly, last nail in the coffin. It's ooh. So see, and this concerns me because if they do an abrupt shutdown, they're forecasting it would increase the price of gas and oil, mainly oil, to 185 bucks. Now, natural gas this morning was $7.50 an MCF. In my 25 years, I don't think I've ever seen it that high. I've seen it go up to $4.50, maybe $5. And natural gas is used for a lot of heating up north. So no, democracy is not a good thing. I agree. Yes. So, and lucky to that point, where I was going with it was in the book Animal Farm, the pigs take the puppies from the dog to train them to be good citizens. But what they do, they turn the dogs into their army. Basically, the dogs enforce laws. And hey, Mrs. Ghetto, what's going on? And I think what we're seeing in this is that kind of movement where we will take your children, we will educate your children, whether you are happy about it is irrelevant. And that's actually a premise of Marxism. I would highly encourage everyone to read the Communist Manifesto, because all the articles and books I've read made a hell of a lot more sense when I read the manifesto, translated into English, of course, because I don't speak Russian. But that whole premise of, well, but it's not the village. It's not the child's village. That's the whole premise. They want to disrupt that. And what Karl Marx, when he wrote it, was in the age of the Tsar and the Kaiser and King Charles, I believe it was, or King Philip, right? So he was looking at all these entitled, privileged people, and then Lenin came up in that same environment. But this, now we have like this really oligarchs instead of an aristocracy, right? We have this financial aristocracy, but the whole idea is to break up families and communities. So if a child grows up in their town, they're going to pick up that town. So it's not even a village to raise a child. They're going to take the child. The government raises all the children the same in some foreign place. And then based on their performance in classes, where they go in life, they get assigned. They don't get chosen. Marxist organization. Yes. And what's ironic is the leaders who promised all this stuff walked away with millions and bought themselves property. They didn't even pay for, not Trayvon, the other kid, the one who got killed, and it was kind of ugly. The poor kid didn't deserve it. Not the Goomba that was fighting with the cops and he got killed, the Freddy guy. It was a teenager. I'm confusing all my folks here, but what's up, baby daddy? That's just cute. Yeah, absolutely. It's, hey, hillbilly, what's going on? And that concerns me. There's been a lot of movement to try and take kids away from the parents or distance them. And what's happened here in the States is backlash, right? They basically recalled half of San Francisco's school board. And now there's a movement to recall the other half. They're basically kicking them out, which is good. But again, that's so that's Quebec law. Let me see if I can find it. Parental. Let me see if I can find that law. No, it doesn't. There we go. So, oh, this is a law firm. So let's see what they say, because this is interesting. Because this is the kind of stuff where a government will creep up on someone. Oh, that's from last year. No, this is an older one. Is regarded as a disappointment. No, that's not it. This guy's a Yutz. So you're going to be seeing a lot of this right now. NATO is trying to pressure Russia with these sanctions and embargoes, and actually, I think it's backfiring. The sanctions are actually hurting NATO, and Putin actually made a comment. Let me see. So waiting for sanctions. Yeah, here it goes. Let me see if I have this video I can play for you, because I thought this was really interesting that Putin would go there and say that. Not surprising. Let me see if I can get it up here. Because, we're already seeing inflation, and here's Putin's take on it. And I'm going to put captioning so you guys. Oh, nope, that captioning is in Russian, so that doesn't help.
Сказать, что такая политика в отношении России провалилась. Стратегия экономического блицкрига не удалась. Более того, санкции не прошли даром и для самих инициаторов. Имею в виду рост инфляции и безработицы, ухудшение экономической динамики в США и странах Европы, снижение уровня жизни европейцев, девальвация их сбережений. Россия, как уже сказал выдержала это беспрецедентное давление. Ситуация стабилизируется. Курс рубля вернулся к отметкам первой половины февраля и определяется объективно сильным платежным балансом. По итогам первого квартала положительное сальдо текущего счета платежного баланса превысило 58 миллиардов долларов. И это исторический максимум. Отдельно остановлюсь на теме инфляции. Сейчас она стабилизируется, но вместе с тем, мы с вами это хорошо знаем, только за последние 1,5 месяца потребительские цены в России заметно выросли на 9,4%, а в годовом выражении по состоянию на 8 апреля инфляция составила 17,5%. Обращаю внимание коллег из правительства, Центрального банка, мы знаем об этом очень хорошо все, это очень высокие значения. Люди чувствуют это на своем семейном бюджете, чувствуют, как выросли цены. И нужно поддержать наших граждан, помочь им справиться с инфляционной волной. Что касается бюджета, я знаю о дискуссиях, которые идут между Центральным банком и правительством. Тем не менее, в условиях объективного спада кредитования, конечно, бюджет должен активно поддержать экономику, насыщать экономику финансовыми ресурсами, поддерживать ее ликвидность. Возможности для этого есть. Конечно, нужно действовать аккуратно. Мы с министром говорим об этом постоянно. Но, тем не менее, по итогам первого квартала текущего года зафиксирован рекордный уровень профицита бюджетной системы. Здесь нужны дополнительные решения. И реализовывать их нужно ровно в тот момент, когда это больше всего необходимо экономике. Но можно уже уверенно.
Lucky. Thank you, Lucky. All right, so I'm hoping you guys caught the closed captioning they had on the video. So the comments in the chat, that's definitely a God. I think I got Cajun seasoning in my nose. That's you're gonna watch me fall off this chair. Yeah. Grow, stack. Actually, we were looking because we're not sure about our yard. Sassy found one of those grow towers where you put the plants. It's an aeroponic system. So we're looking into options for that where we could grow in the house. Even if all we do is grow like lettuce and tomatoes, that would be more than enough. But I have to replant a bunch of my pumpkin. Yeah, dogs will definitely tear up stuff. So it doesn't seem like these sanctions are really working. Let me see. I had another article here. And this one's from PBS, and that's not known for being grow what you can. Right. And keep in mind, even if you don't use it all, you can give it to other people. You can freeze it, dehydrate it, especially things like bell peppers, which I threw in there. Jalapenos, whatever. It is. So here's another article, and I thought this was interesting too, because I'm wondering, yeah, like you said, it sounds like it's almost deliberate. As ruble rebounds, some question impact of sanctions against Russia. The ruble is no longer rubble. The ruble by Wednesday had bounced back from the fall it took, and the U.S. and European allies moved to bury the Russian economy into thousands of new sanctions. Russia's central bank jacked up the interest rate to 20%. So basically, they did a textbook maneuver to stave off inflation. It's a monetary defense Putin may not be able to sustain for long, but he's admitted he's already found He's already found buyers for his oil, that they're going to buy it at a discount. But so it is affecting people. I mentioned the garden going. Oh no, that's why you need a corgi, so they can chase the chickens. Actually, that would just be for comic relief because they really are not very good at that. Um, yeah, the rule can rebound to Russian tied to. True, and also, hey, awkward. Right. So there's a lot of misinformation. Keep in mind, this is a war scenario, right? So each side is pushing their own propaganda, and despite all the technology, for the most part, we're just seeing what's being filtered our way, and they're seeing what's being filtered their way. Um, the Russians are saying that the Moskova, the cruiser that sunk, had an ammunition fire. The Ukrainians are saying we hit it with missiles. And so, you're going to see a lot of that kind of misinformation. And again, that's where I like to look at the financials, because those kind of become real. As Lucky pointed out, you have Constantine saying, no, this is affecting us. It's affecting our ability to eat or buy goods, right? So Russia's feeling it. We're feeling it. Um, No, Congress is not skipping meals. Right now, we have some of the younger idiots there saying that. Thank you, Lucky. That's guys, check that out too. Um, there, people in Congress are complaining that their $100,000 a month or 100,000 a year, whatever the hell it costs, 10,000 a month suite in a luxury apartment in D.C. are not sufficient. And I'll tell you right now, it's one of the socialists. So yeah, it's absolutely frustrating. So they're living nicely, and people are losing their homes. The retiree on my block, who he just sold the Jeep he used to go four-wheeling in. That was kind of his hobby after his wife died. Um, he's sold his Jeep because it's a 16-gallon tank and its efficiency was shit. So he got a little pickup truck instead. Um, he's put his RV in storage because part of his retirement plan was to go drive around. Can't do that either. Uh, so this is real for folks. It's not real for the idiots in Washington. It's real for the rest of us. And yeah, I'm assuming his mods will swat everything away if they need to. So I believe so, Militant. It was about 21%. Hello, Deanne. Sorry, lost the chat again. All right, so yeah, it's God, that smells really good now. I hope I mixed it right. Anyway, we'll see. Either that or I've just made a real mess in an Instant Pot. So, but yeah, it's frustrating that my neighbor who's worked for 30, 40 years of his life, who wanted to go RVing, is now rethinking his whole plan, because he can't afford it. It's and there's a lot of folks, folks taking care of disabled kids or special needs kids or their parents, and you're battling this, and you're on a fixed income, and you have fixed time. Even if you have a job where you can do overtime, there's only so many hours in the day, right? So, oh, Rip, what's going on? This will be Instant Pot Cajun rice and sausage because that's what I had available and I had all the ingredients. So we will see if it comes out bad or not. I got 1 minute in the pot, and then it's supposed to be a natural pressure release. And by the way, as I've said before, if you're cooking, which is cool because it should be ready right about and ready to plate and cool enough right about when Sassy comes home from work. So, yeah, it's I had andouille sausage I had defrosted or thawed, and I forgot about it, so I had to cook it. Hey, Navi, what's going on? So, the commander and the commander and depends. Man, that's funny and an image in my mind that just didn't need Joe. But yeah, that was actually pretty good. So, folks, we're going to keep seeing this inflationary effect, and if they suddenly start, if Europe suddenly decides to abruptly cut off Russian oil, Russia's going to sell it somewhere else. Okay, I think India is buying it right now. Let's see who's buying Russian oil. I think it was India. There we go, Al Jazeera. I know they're not going to do too much of an American tilt because they kind of don't like us for some stuff we've done. So save a plate. Hold on, what was that? I'll be there in 14 hours and 23 minutes. So that's a weird sound. If that thing catches fire, I'm running away. That's the end of the live. Or much at all, yeah. Yeah. So there are many takers for Russian crude as several EU countries failed to impose an outright ban. And look, Putin's a chess player. I mean, look, I think his northern attack failed, or it didn't go as planned because the Ukrainians had been fighting his insurgents for 10 years, and they were equipped and they were up to date on their combat skill. And it's home advantage, right? People are going to fight for their home. The Russian conscripts rather, the conscription troops were not up to speed the way they were expecting. They got a lot of resistance, and via the meta, got fencing around 9. Good, Navi, that's great. You should really post. You should definitely post a picture of that sometime. And that's important. Actually, to Magic's point, under my kitchen sink. Ta-da! Yeah. I probably need to replace it because it's getting old, but the charge still shows good, so I'll live with that. And okay, so the president actually just informed the energy sector that they're going to start allowing federal land drilling, and the eco people freaked out. And it's like, well, do you want to just like be in the dark? Because that's basically where it's going. So yeah, it'd only be 10 hours there. So anyway, Germany hasn't stopped. Hungary, India, and China have refused to condemn Russia's action, and they're buying Russia's crude. So, right there, those are like two of the biggest world economies that are still buying the crude. So Putin calculated this shit. Okay, like I said earlier, even though that northern attack didn't go, I thought he was going to go straight for the east. I guess he thought maybe he could get Kiev and shut it down, and that didn't work. They're not going to stop. They're just going to pivot and go the other way. Hey, Color Drop. But yeah, there's some chats in here talking about fire extinguishers, get stuff like that. If you're going to start planning now. If you're going to plant indoors, which is what I'm going to plan to do, I'm looking for that aeroponic garden. So that'll set me back a chunk of change, but then that can go with me no matter where I live, what the house layout is. I could just find a corner and put it there. Strawberries, stuff we use every day. If you use a lot of strawberries, lettuce, bell peppers, stuff like that, it doesn't have to be exotic or crazy. I know one person showed me a picture. They have 3 of those hydroponic systems, those aeroponic towers, side by side. And so you're not in Zelensky land, are you? Where are you at, Cowboy? All right, so he's gone. I will doing one or more videos for little man and big man get him. There you go. First tiny green tomato spotted today in Central Texas. Yeah, you get more rain in Central Texas. Oh, and color drop. I did post a short earlier. ERCOT's already giving warnings about the whole rolling blackouts for summer, and that we should be prepared to have blackouts if you're not an essential customer, et cetera, et cetera. I got it from my local electric provider, and then it had the links for like CenterPoint and Encore, all the grid servicing companies. So for those of you in Texas, I know I got about 5 Texans in there. Yep, they're already warning us they're gonna have some kind of issue. So now's a good time. Get the generator, get the power bank, whatever it is, the solar things, whatever you think you're gonna do. Let's see what else. What else are you guys doing? Oh, there you go. That's with goldfish. So I've gotten rashes from strawberries for years, unless it's a strawberry margarita that's done fresh, and then I don't. And you would think that doesn't make sense if I use the actual fruit in there. And we figured out that it's the washing. I have to clean whatever the hell they spray the fruits with to keep the color. If I wash them with soap or whatever and purge the strawberry, I can put it in my food and eat it, and I don't get a reaction. So I thought that was interesting. Vitamin C, maybe I should read my insert. Yeah. So anyone else want to chat on what you've done? This weekend was actually, I did some more dry food storage myself, and I rigged up the Jackery, the baby Jackery with a solar panel. We tested that out again. Then I direct charged phones on the solar panel. Sassy ordered a portable solar panel to add to our trip kit. So I bring a power bank that can jumpstart my car or charge phones. Now she ordered the solar panel for the phones for when we're on the road. We can lay it on the dashboard while we're driving and charge it up. I bring a little emergency radio as well. And we have like a whole little kit. I really just need to, instead of hunting everything down, I should just put it all in one bag. Let's see. I soak my strawberries in vinegar and water. Okay, I will try that because historically I avoid them. I've been avoiding strawberries for years, but then I had a strawberry margarita and she used fresh berries and forgot about it. And I was like, oh, you're trying to kill me. But then I was drinking it and I was fine. I'm like, well, wait a minute. The booze shouldn't counteract an allergic reaction. Like, I'm going to get a rash or something, I'm going to get it. And then she told me, well, I had to wash it and do this, that, and the other. And I said, that was it. So thank you for that, Nikki. I appreciate it. Cheap netting, yeah. So pressure canning venison. Trying to get a good chunk in our freezers converted to shelf stable. Yes, and that's something I really need to consider. I wish alcohol would combat allergic reactions. No, and actually, Lucky did a great live stream. It was a while ago, it was months ago, where she talked about different allergies. So You'd have to like search her channel because it was a hot minute ago, but still. Um, yes, and I rewatched that 2 days ago, which was kind of cool. And it actually, the first time I watched it was a bit bizarre. I had to watch it a second time, and that one's very interesting. And that one, you never quite know what's going on. It's a little bit Cloverfield-ish. Canned a bunch of hamburger and chicken veggie improv. Got hooked on canning. Yeah, and different types, because a lot of people will store what they drink and not think, well, really good vodka or moonshine can also have medicinal purposes. You can clean a wound with it. Wine could be used for drinking or cooking. So, find something that can have multiple purposes because it may benefit you. That's a good thing too. Yeah. So, yeah, it's no use rubbing alcohol, not booze. No, you're correct. But for lack of rubbing alcohol, you can substitute booze, but it has to be a clear booze. It can't be like a spiced rum, because I think that would actually have the opposite effect. Yes. And I do have those. What's the shelf life on those? I gotta go check. I would assume alcohol just stays forever. It's more a question of the container. But also honey, have the forever prep. Salt, sugar, honey. You just need to store it correctly. Pour some Fireball in it. God, my brother's wedding, his best man was a maniac. He was well, Lucky would understand this. He was with the Rangers, but assigned to the units that they don't talk about. So he was a crazy person. He's like, we're gonna have Fireball, and four of us drank 2 whole bottles of Fireball, and that was so bad because we were way too old to do that. It was awesome and terrible, but it was yeah. I can't. Yeah. Anyway, Mad Dog. It's funny. I never drank Mad Dog as a kid. Yeah, we went to college near Canada, so like I could just get the really good beer and sneak it back. Um, check and check. But too old to do that. Our egos tell us we're not too old, but then our bodies remind us that we are, the next day. Yeah, grain alcohol, moonshine, Everclear, stuff like that. Or I think Everclear is a grain alcohol. That stuff will. But yeah, do those forever preps. They, for the most part, you can find them kind of cheap. And yeah, folks, just keep. We're gonna see these prices. I have been twisted on MD 2020. I think it is Voodoo Queen on that. Oh, check that out. Yeah, I never drank it, believe it or not. And from what it sounds like, I didn't miss it. Medium term erosion. Hey, Milkmaid, what's going on? I'm making instant pot, Cajun rice and sausage in the instant pot back there. So, and I'm gonna have to take it out here in a minute. So I'm gonna have to end the live so I can like collect dinner. Oh, and I have a bottle of red wine. Those of you in Texas, Yano Winery, they have a champagne out too. Um, Pit Nat. Sorry. So, and it's not a wine, it has a little cap. So this one's carbonated. So we'll be testing that when it gets really hot outside. But yeah, yeah, keep doing what we're doing, guys. I mean, look, ERCOT's already warning us, especially those of you in Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma. We get hot down here, especially in the middle of the summer. Make sure you have a way to at least charge your phone, maybe a small fan. I got to go generator shopping here in a bit. And don't forget, tax day weekend is in 2 weeks here in Texas. I think Louisiana has it next week or week after Texas. I don't remember. Um, but it's a grape based sparkling wine. So it's a very specific type of wine. I'm gonna have to look it up, or you can go to the Yano Winery and find it. It's in there. So it's not a classic wine like a Pinot Grigio or Merlot or something like that. So, but it's supposed to be effervescent. So when you open it, you get bubbles. So it's almost like a champagne, I guess, but a wine champagne. I don't know. I haven't drank that before, so we'll find out. Uh, Everclear works. And by the way, it is flammable because I did have a college buddy drinking 151 rum, and he said, "Look, I'm going to do a flaming shot," and he burned his thumb, so he went, "Ouch!" He jiggled the shot glass, and he had blue flame up his arm, and he went, because he was stoned at the time. So we grabbed him and threw him in the pool, which in hindsight, I'm surprised didn't put him into shock. Uh, God, I'm surprised some of us survived our own childhood and our college years. Seriously. But yeah, keep on prepping, keep taking care of those things. Try to stay on budget as best you can in this environment. And let's hope the Europeans don't do something abrupt and cut off oil because they're going to freak out the market and we're going to have a bunch of shit. So, yeah, highly flammable. Yeah. Yeah, it's you can instantly, and that's true, Joe. Thank you. Yeah, you can instantly catch your buddy on fire, or your buddy can catch himself on fire, and then you have to push him into water. So, guys, I'm gonna cut this one off. Thank you for joining me today. Uh, man, the governments are doing weird shit, and street crime is up. So please be careful on the streets. I'm gonna finish my travel shorts for the next week and a half. I got some more footage I want to share with all of you, and some of it involves crime while you're traveling. Actually, some people lost their lives because they weren't paying attention. But keep doing the same things and don't set yourself on fire with high octane alcohol. Other than that, you guys be safe, be blessed out there, and I will catch you guys hopefully Saturday.